Arctic Circle. If you're from the Mountain West, you know the name. A regional burger chain that's been serving up fry sauce and famous shakes since the 1950s. But here's what you need to know. This little-known gem has been quietly competing with the big guys for decades. Arctic Circle isn't just another burger joint. They claim to have invented fry sauce, and that alone puts them in a league of their own. But here's the thing. For every diehard fan, there's someone else who says the food is about as exciting as coal in your stocking. Does Arctic Circle deserve its loyal following, or is it riding on a legacy that's just frozen in time? Today, we're going to dive in and explore the history of this lesser-known burger chain before we review it next week. This is Fine Dining.
Your table is ready, take a seat. The flavor of the day is mediocrity. Wouldn't you like to try a bite? Guarantee it'll be the perfect bite. Fine dining. Better than you thought, worse than you hoped. Fine dining. We don't treat mediocre as a joke. Ranking every single place we've been. Looking for the perfect 5 out of 10.
Hello, and welcome to the Fine Dining Podcast, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. I'm your host, Michael Ornelas, and this is the show where I'm looking for the precisely in-the-middle dining experience, the perfect 5.00 out of 10, because only once you know what's directly in the center can you tell what's good or not good by comparison. This week's episode is Arctic Circle, so I'll be diving into their history and reading some select Yelp reviews of the one I went to before my review episode comes out next week. It's the holidays, so whatever you celebrate, have a happy one at that. Me personally, I celebrate Christmas, and for me, my guest for Arctic Circle is a get. I've known this guy my whole life, but I've only gotten to meet him on special occasions, like when I was a kid when my mom would go to return some pants and I'd see a line at the mall to meet him. You know him, you love him, you give him free reign to just enter your home whenever he feels like it. The busiest man in the world every winter. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Santa Claus.
Oh! Merry Christmas, Michael. How are you?
I'm good, Santa.
Good to see you.
Should I call you Santa, Saint Nick, Kris Kringle?
Oh, I go by many names,
You
Michael.
do?
Been around for like 1,700 years.
Uh-huh.
I started as Nicholas, just Nicholas.
Yeah, just a guy.
Bishop Nicholas. I was Bishop of Turkey. And then Saint Nicholas, right? And then this sort of Saint Nick, and then Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas comes from that. I don't know.
What?
And then Kris Kringle is
Santa Claus comes from Saint Nicholas?
Did you never put that together?
No.
Yeah, buddy.
Huh.
That's it. Santa Claus. Then Kris Kringle. A Kringle is kind of like a Scandinavian, like Danish, like a pastry. So Kris Kringle, you
like your pastries?
Like they call, like, hey, Johnny Hot Dogs,
No. Who's Johnny Hot Dogs?
Like if a guy was associated with a certain food.
Yeah. I'd be Michael Bloomin' Onion.
Michael Bloomin' Onion.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I go by many names, anything you want. Santa's, Nick is fine, Santa's fine.
Amazing. Well, Santa, I know you're from the North Pole, so Arctic Circle seemed like a natural fit for you to be my guest on. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. We're 1 week away from Christmas.
Oh, it's getting kind of hectic up there, I tell you.
But you took the time to be with me. I got to ask, do you have any history with the Arctic Circle restaurant? Or is this your first time trying it?
It's my first time trying it. When I get to Utah, I don't really go to fast food restaurants.
You don't have a personal history with them?
No. If I get there, I'm so full of cookies, I'm not going to stop and order fry sauce or whatever they have there.
Well, do you want to hear the history of the Arctic Circle franchise?
I'd be delighted. I know the history of the real Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
It was just made up.
Sure.
It's just a circle.
Yeah.
Just to play,
It's just a latitude line.
Or the North Pole where we live, there's no land there.
Yeah.
It's all ice.
It's ice.
If you dig a hole, dig, you get to ocean underneath.
Yeah.
That's why global warming is kind of a big deal.
Oh, no. Santa's going to be homeless soon if you don't curb your emissions.
We've got kind of a Wakanda Themyscira kind of thing going on up there. This is why no one runs across it.
Yeah.
It's also very far away and hard to get to.
Toys are made with unobtainium.
I can neither confirm or deny the what's that stuff? Vibranium or unobtainium?
Vibranium. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Anyway, but we'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But like the polar bears are getting closer. All the time.
All right. Well, we're going to jump into this week's Eat Deets and learn all about Arctic Circle.
Eatery details.
In 1924, founder Don Carlos Edwards set up a small refreshment stand at a Pioneer Day celebration. From those humble beginnings, it became a full-fledged business, and by 1941, the stand had grown into a successful barbecue restaurant.
Where?
In Utah.
Utah.
Yeah. In 1950, Edwards expanded by opening the first Arctic Circle restaurant in Salt Lake City,
Salt Lake
Utah.
City, okay.
So it sounds like that was the expansion. You
Salt
started.
Lake is a beautiful city, not a lot of thrills.
Yeah.
So if a tasty fry sauce is really going to light people up down there.
Arctic Circle's first big hit was the brown topper, their term for a chocolate-dipped ice cream cone.
Oh, that's not what I was picturing.
With the shell?
No, chocolate, yeah.
Yeah.
Calling it just brown?
The brown topper?
That evokes too many bad images to me.
Yeah. The ranch burger also had people lining up around the block, according to their website.
What was it, ranch dressing? Or was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, ranch.
Now, so the chocolate dips, they beat Dairy Queen to that?
I didn't find record that they innovated that,
Mm-hmm.
just that they did it and it was a hit in the area. But it was soon after when they claimed to have innovated pink sauce, a condiment blend that later famously became known far and wide as fry sauce that caused them to truly rise to prominence.
See, between brown topper and pink sauce, these sound like names for venereal diseases to me.
Yeah.
But I guess the Mormons, that's not where their head goes when they hear those things.
You would be shocked.
Okay.
You would be shocked. So if you're unfamiliar with fry sauce, here's a little bit more about its history. Fry sauce is typically a mixture of 1 part ketchup and 2 parts mayonnaise. Deep innovation. We're digging deep into the trenches of our mind.
Ketchup, 1 part mayonnaise? 2 parts
Other
mayonnaise.
way around. Yeah.
1 part ketchup. Okay. So ketchup-y mayo rather than mayo-y ketchup. Okay.
It's literally your colors. It's red, it's
yeah,
white.
But
you should be pink.
When this goes pink, I have to fire my dry cleaner.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Has it happened before?
Well, it's definitely a problem.
Yeah.
If you get your suits, you got to go to an expert.
Yeah.
You can't take white fur in a red suit to an amateur dry cleaner.
I know that Barbie was huge last year, so if the colors had run last year, you probably would have been maybe even more of a hit.
I don't know. I mean, the whole bright red and white thing is a 1950s innovation.
Yeah?
Or 1930s, approximately.
Tell me about it.
Well, I've always liked red. When I was Bishop of Turkey, I wore a red robe. They didn't make it like pow, fire engine red back then. But then Thomas Nast was a cartoonist. He drew me in like 1890 or something with a red suit. But they only print 1 color in the newspaper, which is just a little bit of red on there. And so that worked fine. But then it was Coca-Cola. When they started using my image without my consent for Coca-Cola, a guy, the ad agency artist, created the look with the bright red suit, with the big fur collar, with the big black belt, shiny shoes, all of that stuff. And that sort of became the popular image of Santa Claus. And who am I to not go ahead and
you got to get the people what they want.
Give the people what they want.
So now they've put the burden on you to be like, now I have to go out and get these clothes made so that I match what they expect of me.
Well, this happens over many, 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 many years. This evolves, but it's like fine. I like it.
There's a lot. You get to change it up.
Yeah. I mean, you get that sort of old kind of Christmas Carol, Ghost of Christmas Past look, which is more like the Green Man, which is like a Celtic tradition, a man of the forest with like big fur hat, big fur clothes, all kind of green. And that's a vibe sometimes. I like to wear that once in a while. It's kind of when I get kind of druidic.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
I feel like if you made a drastic change to your look, I would reject it. Not even, not in like a negative way, but like my brain wouldn't process it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give like, that's Santa.
Right. Or you'd go, oh, look, it's Cowboy Santa or something.
Yeah. I'd put a modifier in front of it.
Yeah, and that's fun to be like Cowboy Santa or Surfing Santa or, fishing Santa or, whatever.
I mean, I've got...
Fun time, summertime Santa.
I've got beach Santa over there riding that
Hawaiian
flamingo.
shirt Santa. That's a good time.
So back to fry sauce.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It was popularized in Utah, though it's worth noting that a similar recipe appeared in a New Orleans cookbook as early as 1900.
Okay.
That predates... by like 50-ish years Arctic Circle.
Well, when did they invent ketchup? That's around 1870, right?
I don't know the history of ketchup.
Mayonnaise is a French invention, of course.
Of course.
It's egg and oil. It's like fat. It's like a emulsion of fats.
Yeah.
Which makes food better.
Yeah. An aioli, like a chipotle or a spicy.
Aioli is just mayonnaise.
Yeah, but like the I know, but it sounds fancy.
With a little garlic in it. They have garlic aioli or something.
Garlic makes everything better. Not for your breath, but...
Except for vampires.
I would argue it makes vampires better because it makes vampires deader, and I don't want to be...
That's a misnomer. Garlic doesn't kill vampires, repels vampires. In the same way that bad breath repels
humans.
Yeah. You know.
Okay.
Vampires are not that different than you and I.
Are we here to advocate on behalf of...
Listen, as one semi-immortal cryptid, I have to, stand up for all of them.
I've never considered you a cryptid. That is such a great connection.
Well, you gotta listen. It's the family of man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
Yeah.
Them vampires, they're just doing their best.
Okay.
They didn't want to be vampires.
Yeah.
Most of them, they didn't seek that out.
Sure.
And most of them have a bitter end eventually. They don't. There's not a lot of I don't know. No one aspire. I guess people do aspire to it now. It's kind of a weird dark time where people want to be a vampire.
Yeah. They're like goths.
But I feel like if they really knew what it was all about, they'd be not into it,
Yeah. Like if they actually thought through all the ramifications.
And also, eternal life is not all it's cracked up to be unless you can keep it jolly, baby.
I feel like nowadays it would be so much better, but all that time waiting to get to the amount of entertainment that like you can have a Nintendo Switch now.
I tell you something, toys are like that too. Toys have gotten so much
more advanced.
Better. But also people's standards for what's entertaining.
That's true.
You ever played Candy Crush?
Yeah.
Wild. Wow. If you gave a kid like a little cow carved out of a piece of wood 1,000 years ago, that was like a PlayStation 4.
They would treasure that for the rest of their life.
Their minds.
So, fry sauce's origins are somewhat contested, as it may have truly begun in 1941 at Don Carlos Barbecue in Salt Lake City, or at Stan's Drive-In, a franchise of Arctic Circle, in 1955.
Okay.
So, we don't even know if it came from the original one. There's discord within the Arctic Circle family of which location invented it.
Wouldn't it be better if there was sort of more mythology about it? Like what was the guy's name? Do you remember who created it?
Don Carlos Edwards.
Don Carlos. If he had
isn't he on your list?
Like accidentally spilled the ketchup into the mayonnaise. It was like, oh, I've got this giant thing of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Ruined with this ketchup. Wait a minute. What if?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You did a better origin
You got
story.
Peanut butter in my chocolate. You
Precisely.
got chocolate in my peanut
I was thinking
butter.
of the very thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penicillin. Same thing.
Penicillin was accidental?
Yeah, penicillin. A guy he had all these cultures he was growing.
Yeah.
And one of them, he left his sandwich out and some of the sandwich bread got moldy and the cultures around that all died. That's how he discovered penicillin.
You heard it here first. Fry sauce, the penicillin of the condiment world. Yeah. In Utah, fry sauce has become a cultural identifier, and Arctic Circle still serves it in its restaurants across the western U.S. In April 2018, Heinz introduced a version called Mayo Chup after a Twitter poll showed strong demand. Some users pointed out that this combination already existed as fry sauce or fancy sauce. The product hit shelves in September 2018.
Mayo chip?
Mayo chip.
Like ketchup.
Like ketchup and mayo, CHUP.
That's a terrible name.
I agree.
Okay.
Fry sauce is also similar to yum yum sauce, a condiment often found in Japanese steakhouses in America.
Yum yum? What is yum
yum sauce? It's
the same thing?
It's the same thing, yeah. Many countries have their own version of fry sauce or similar condiments combining ketchup and mayonnaise. In Argentina and Uruguay, a popular dressing called salsa golf is used on fries, burgers, and seafood salads. It was reportedly invented in the 1920s by Nobel laureate Luis Federico Leloir at a golf club in Mar del Plata, Argentina.
Did he win a Nobel Prize for condiments?
I don't believe so.
That would be awesome.
He just is a Nobel laureate.
Well, does that mean if you're a Nobel laureate, does that mean you won a Nobel Prize?
But I don't know if it was related to the invention of this. I think the guy...
It's just one more point on the resume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Germany has Rotweiss, which just translates to red-white, sold in toothpaste-like tubes that dispense ketchup and mayonnaise in stripes. A similar...
like Aquafresh.
Yeah. It's literally condiment Aquafresh.
That's not a good... I kind of want that in a hot dog. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, just pull out your little tube of toothpaste.
Or you like the pumper thing at Costco?
Yeah,
you get ketchup, mustard, relish.
Just do the two together.
You had one that was like, in this like beautiful rainbow spiral. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody though. Everybody wants one or the other. I want everything.
Well, and like you don't get to control the ratio.
Exactly.
Which I'm big on. Like I need the right ratio of my sauces.
Yeah. Okay. You could have that patent. There's no Nobel. No, I think the Nobel Prize is not going to be one on that idea.
Call the elves. Have them call them off the job.
Buddy, they're way ahead of you. They're listening.
Okay.
They're already working on it. When I get back, they'll have like 3 versions for me.
Nice. A similar condiment called pommes salsa or fritten salsa is a lightly spiced mayonnaise often used with fries.
Okay.
So the Germans have a few variations on this, different spices, different.
What do you like on fries, given you all your choices?
Oh, God. I mean, so there's this, it's not a chain restaurant, but there's a chain of pepper stores called Pepper Palace, and they have a really good chipotle ketchup that I really like. You know, a fry sauce is very good. Dave's Hot Chicken's Dave's sauce, I think, is one of the better entries into the fry sauce world. I'm definitely more towards the tomatoey than I don't want a ranch personally. I don't want just mayo. I need it like.
That's what I like. That's my first choice. I like ketchup.
Mayo's first choice?
My first choice is just mayo. But the thing is, the mayo in America is different than the mayo in France. Every time I go to France, I bring home some mayonnaise, believe it or not.
Really?
Just, it's better. It's eggier and it's just slightly more yellow. And all the food in France they have better controls on it than in America, definitely. But like purity-wise and quality-wise, that French mayonnaise, it's something special about that French mayonnaise. You can squirt that on anything. Scrambled eggs, a little of that on there. It's fantastic.
Pro tip.
It's not quite spicy. It's just a little sharp.
Okay.
A little sharp. But I hate it when you get you're in a restaurant, they give you here's your plate of fries next to your sandwich.
Yeah.
And there's ketchup right there. They go, can I have some mayo? They come bring that little cup of mayo. That's right. Usually it's rock hard for some reason. You can't get it out. But it's worse, they just hand you 3 packets of mayo.
Yeah.
In a sit-down restaurant. I don't want to be tearing that and squishing that stuff out in a restaurant.
Yeah. I want a ramekin.
I want a ramekin.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank
Santa demands ramekin.
Well, Santa's happy with whatever he gets. Santa would prefer
is there a
ramekin.
downside to having to be so positive all the time?
You know what? It's its own reward.
Do you get a special satisfaction giving people coal when they deserve it in their stocking?
I don't know.
Or is it like when a parent's like, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you?
Like a real shit. If someone's a real snot.
Yeah.
Then, of course, there's a temptation to have Schadenfreude and to hey, you're going to be a dick, huh? Okay, here's some coal.
Yeah.
But coal, we don't really do coal anymore. And back when we did coal, coal was very valuable. Poor people needed coal more than they needed toys.
And
sure.
coal's carbon footprint is worse. So
coal, we got to mine the coal. So no, we don't do that. The equivalent now is when you walk into a department store, like a Macy's at Christmas time, and there's a little display of the worst Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Like nutcracker, tie rack, shoehorn.
That's what you get when you're bad.
That's what your naughty kids get.
Okay.
Or just clip-on tie, stuff like that. Stuff the kids don't want.
Socks.
And
not fun ones.
You get older, socks are I'd love to get some nice socks for Christmas,
Yeah.
But, but yeah, that's it. It's like your nutcrackers and things like that. That's what no one really wants.
Gotcha. In the Philippines, a variant mixes mayonnaise with banana ketchup and is used with fried foods like French fries and lumpia, which is spring rolls.
Wait, banana ketchup. Is that ketchup for bananas or ketchup that tastes like bananas?
I think it's ketchup from bananas.
Like banana flavored ketchup.
I think they're using banana to try and hit the taste of ketchup.
That's what makes it ketchup. It's like tomato and vinegar, and that's it, sort of, right?
You're expecting me to know the processes of a lot of these, and
I don't know.
I really don't.
I feel like you're the condiment for condiments.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Market research firm Data Central reports that fry sauce is found on 0.8% of U.S. menus, a small percentage, but one that's up 29% over the past 4 years.
So 0.8% is their peak. That's their great new number that's up.
Yeah, that's how many menus in our country have.
That's 8 out of 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wonder if that's based on unique restaurants versus Dave's Hot Chicken is about to have 900 restaurants.
I see.
Will that drastically spike up, or is it just Dave's counts as one as a whole and it doesn't matter how many locations they have?
I don't know. I could see the emergence of fry sauce.
I can too.
McDonald's has got 6 dipping sauces.
We're on the cusp. Yeah.
It's going to be a saucy world. It's going to be a sticky world.
Yeah. Oh. You heard it from Santa Claus.
Sticky world.
Modern day Arctic Circle has over 70 locations in 8 states, a bunch in Utah and Idaho, just 2 in both Wyoming and Oregon, and just 1 in the states of Montana, Nevada, Washington, and Arizona.
Okay. None in California.
And it's a pretty even split between company-owned and franchised Arctic Circle locations. Okay. Their growth has been relatively steady since their current CEO, Gary Roberts, took over 36 years ago in 1988, and apparently his hiring bonus included a sweet pair of neon green shades.
Wait, sunglasses?
Yeah.
That's his hiring bonus.
I don't know if it was...
It's a pair of sunglasses.
I don't know if it was the entirety of his signing bonus, but it was included in it.
So here's your $1 million, your Ferrari, and these sweet shades.
Hell
Ooh, put that in the press release.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, it was noteworthy enough that they said, legend has it this happened on their own website. So,
okay.
I imagine he signed off on that being there.
I bet there was like a cool photo op or something where he put the shades on.
He did finger guns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just guitar riff. Yeah. And that'll do it for this week's Eat Deets.
Deet. Eat them.
All right, Santa, that is the history of Arctic Circle.
Fascinating.
We have a review to give. We went there together.
We did.
But before the people can hear what we have to say about Arctic Circle, we need to see what other people are saying about Arctic Circle.
The voice of the people. Vox Populi.
Yelp. So we're going to head into this week's Yelp from Strangers.
Yelp from Strangers. Probably have a better song than that already.
That's very close. Yeah.
We need a little Yelp, a little Yelp from strangers. A 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4 or 5. So get a little Yelp, a little Yelp from strangers. A little Yelp. Give us those complaints while you literally whine and die. Yelp!
All right, Santa, if you look underneath the Christmas tree, there are some Yelp reviews for you to read.
Okay.
So I'll start us off with the first one, if you don't mind.
1-star review.
So I'm going to start us off with a 1-star review. This is from Heidi W. from San Francisco, California. This comes from Cinco de Mayo 2018 when she wrote it. It's also her only Yelp review ever.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I felt very strongly about this.
Get
the app and write 1 review.
It makes so much sense that someone with 1 review has left either a 1-star review or a 5-star review.
Yeah, you really got to do a bunch to get
No one's like signing up for Yelp to be like, I felt in the middle about this. Yeah. Sunset location needs an overhaul on staff, especially the cook. The last couple times we have been there, the staff is not friendly. Food has been cold. Went through the drive-thru tonight, 5/5/18, and a portion of our bun was missing.
A portion of the bun was missing?
A portion of the bun was
like the top, the bottom, or like half of the bottom or something?
It sounds like half of one. Otherwise, you would just say one of the buns was missing, right?
All right.
Yeah. I took it in to show them. The girl that went in the back was laughing the whole time, along with the cook, obviously making fun of the situation over their headphone sets.
Oh, you know what? They were probably stoned.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they're like, oh, dude, I totally blew at the bun.
Which we'll get to next week, but this place was run by kids.
Yeah.
We'll little taste of a preview for next week. When another gal employee cracks a smile and looks at you, pretty obvious. While the cook is putting the sandwich in the wrapper and being a smart about it, the bun and sandwich come apart and fall all over the counter. I let them know I was not happy and I walked out. I won't ever go back to this location.
Chaos.
1-star.
I can see that. So they handed him a burger in the drive-thru. They unwrap it. They're in the parking
part
lot.
of the bun's missing.
So
she goes up to show them.
But they unwrapped it and ate it. They didn't leave the restaurant. They didn't drive through and go home.
No.
Presumably.
They checked it.
They They would unwrap the burger. I would just count. I looked to make sure they didn't forget like the straw or the napkins or,
As someone who doesn't eat cheese, I will often unwrap and check
you
a
want to
burger.
check?
Like when you make a modification for something that you really don't like eating, you'll
Okay.
check and go in and make sure that it,
But she went in and they go, this doesn't have a bun. They went, oh, dude. And they went and they made it again and then they dropped it.
Yeah.
Because they're like all stumble bums in there.
stumble bums.
I
Yep.
think that's a bad. Yeah, she was right.
Yeah.
One star. That's a 1 star.
I
Solid
agree with
single
it.
star.
4-star review.
I got a 4-star one right here.
All right.
It's for 2020, August 9th, from someone named Nicole R. in South Jordan, Utah.
All right.
She tells a story. This has got a real narrative to it. Picture it, 1997. Wait, she's going back 3 years. She's going back 23 years.
Yeah.
1997, a simpler time before smartphones, social media, or any notion of global pandemic. It was this time that I had a love affair with this very Arctic Circle. I would drive
Steamy.
home from work at my first high school job and stop by for a treat. I can imagine. They have those nice shakes and everything.
Yeah.
I had 2 coins in my hand, a quarter and a penny, 26 cents. That's what it cost for me to get a twist cone and a cup of water. All I needed to satisfy my cravings on a hot day after work. I remember when you could get an ice cream for 26 cents.
Yeah.
At Thrifty. Second dip for a nickel. Those were the days. Fast forward a few years and this place hasn't changed much. Well, 26 cents won't get you anything but a memory. The decor hasn't changed and the building is still as I remember. I don't live here, so it's an infrequent opportunity to stop by for a visit. But when I am in town, I make sure to stop. The service is friendly. The food is consistent. Not much to complain about. Part of me is secretly happy it hasn't changed. So much around my hometown has evolved over the years. But this staple of my earlier years remains as I remember it. And for that, I am grateful. It's very wistful.
Yeah.
For old time's sake, I think I'll stop by and get a twist cone and a cup of water. I'll need a few more coins than I used to.
I feel like this is an individual who just got a terminal illness diagnosis and they're just reminiscing on their life.
Look at it. It's Nicole R. It's Nycole. It's a funny way to spell it. But her little avatar,
Yeah.
she's like going, like holding up something and pointing to it, being really cute and sassy.
Also, look how many Yelp reviews she's written.
Oh, is that what that means?
The second number?
2,469 reviews.
Nice.
What is this one? What's 6,556?
Photos uploaded.
She's uploaded 6,000 photos?
Yeah. And then the other one is how many friends she has on the Yelp
There's
app.
almost 1,000 friends on the Yelp app.
So this is like her go-to
Well,
social
she's an
media
elite
app.
24. It says,
Yeah.
well, Nicole, you got to trust her. I think she's just a novelist.
Yeah.
She loves to express herself.
Couldn't find a publisher and it's like, I'm taking to Yelp.
There's not one adjective in this review.
Is that true?
Well, I mean, about the food.
Yeah.
She mentions how she used to get an ice cream
It's
cone
just,
for
I
26
used to
cents.
come here and it
And
used
she
to
used
be
to love
cheap.
it, and now it costs more, but she still loves it. That's it. I mean, the adjectives are like, as I remember, that's not an adjective, hasn't changed. Infrequent opportunity, that's an adjective. So technically there's a couple, but nothing about any of the things.
Yeah.
You know what? It's about emotions. It's about the emotions that she gets from the Arctic Circle. And I could see that. I could see it. It does seem like it's kind of trapped in amber, like it hasn't changed
Yeah.
in a long time. So good on you, Nicole R.
Did you like those reviews? You can get 3 more over on my Patreon. That's patreon.com/finediningpodcast for the full Yelp from Strangers segment and an exclusive Fine Dining episode every single month. So that's part 1. Stay tuned next week as we talk about the magic of Santa Claus walking into his home turf, the Arctic Circle, and the true magic that happens when kids encounter St. Nick.
Yes.
It truly warmed my heart. That episode will be out on Christmas Day. And, Santa, thanks for coming on for this week for part 1.
So there's more?
There's more. We got to tell our story about reviewing the
I
restaurant.
got to make a call.
Yeah, I'm
There-
grateful that you're spending the time.
Listen, I have to go to like hundreds of millions of houses in a night.
Yeah,
I can get around. Spare time is not really an issue
yeah.
because like time is kind of my bitch, pardon the
Right.
expression.
Yeah.
But okay, we'll do another episode. I can stick around.
Do you have anything you want to plug? for people?
Oh, anything I want to plug?
Yeah.
Well, Christmas, look for me under the tree. Enjoy each other. Enjoy your families. Be nice. Try to watch It's a Wonderful Life. I find that's very inspirational every year. And if you get broken candy canes, you can crush them up, little white chocolate, and make peppermint bark out of it.
Line them up with a credit card, give them the old... yeah. All right. And you can follow me on social media at Fine Dining Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. You can send me an email, finediningpodcast@gmail.com. Tell me what you think of Santa Claus. Tell me what you think of Arctic Circle if you've ever been. And I have a Patreon episode coming out in 13 days' time. I'm dropping an episode where I went to Las Vegas's Dick's Last Resort. Have you ever heard of this place?
That place is very saucy.
Yeah, where they kind of have rude service on purpose.
They have like charmingly rude service. Where they're very attentive and nice, but they also like sneer and call you names.
Yeah.
And put a funny hat on you, and it's very loud.
And you know all about funny hats.
Yeah, I love a funny hat.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
So
have fun there.
Go check that out. I have a 7-day free trial if you want. But yeah, that'll be out on New Year's Eve. In the meantime, we're just going to be sitting here waiting on our table for next week ahead of our review. Take care, happy holidays, and of course, have a fine day.
Waiting on our table, the step is done and we had some fun. Now we're waiting on our table, join us next time, we're stuck in line. Waiting on our table, we're so hungry, tummy's grumbling. Waiting on our table, we gotta continue our search for mediocrity.
Have a fine day.